goes perfect because they declared their sin as Sodom. I'm talking about America, all right, which is run by Esau, the devil, uh, um, uh, uh, um, saying that all homosexuals could get married. That's declaring your sin as Sodom, because why declare means to say very intensely out loud and clearly, all right, and there's no way around that either. Okay, you got it back. You got
Right.
some.
Yeah. Well, the definition of declare, I just looked it up,
Mhm.
comes from the Hebrew word na, na nagad, nagad, which means to tell, make known,
Well,
to announce.
oh wait, see, well, hey, you can speak on it to
Yeah,
tell,
to tell what? To tell everybody.
tell the whole
To
world.
make it known, man. You know, there's no shame. They call it what? Coming out of the closet. Now, homosexuality, homosexuals are faggots or fucking sodomites. They don't have to hide it anymore. They can come out. Why? Because America has made it an in thing or the new fad for homosexual. Basically, they gave them liberty to have that freedom. You know, and it's they try to correlate the homosexuality or faggot LGBT rights
Yeah,
with the civil rights
that's
that
real
you
disrespectful, man.
Negroes had to go through, you know, and they're putting it in the same light, in the same limelight, right? So they have that freedom to come out and make known. You don't have to hide. Hey, if anybody does anything to you, guess what? We've created a hate crime where we'll go after those people, man, because you deserve your rights.
Yeah,
You know?
and that's really insulting, man, to the struggle of Israel, man, as far as doing slavery, because you faggots didn't have to do slavery, all right, for 400 years. You weren't in chains, okay? You weren't counted less of a human as far as you were included. We were included in the Constitution, which is what the Declaration we're talking about, the key word here of independence or something like that, right? You know, like there's no comparison to the so-called gay movement and to the civil rights movement. You know, when when we were getting hung from trees and there were certain places where we can't eat and damn near doing slavery and so on and so forth. You know, that's an insult to the struggle of Jake, of Israel in America, man. Really a slap in the face. You know, you got these laws protecting us, protecting homosexuals in these times. But the point of the matter is, like I wanted to bring out was the word declare you brought out was to tell, because America has told the whole world that look, America is we embrace homosexuals, man. You can come here, and now they're telling other countries to do the same. They try to do that to Russia. They try to go into Russia and say, look, man, you should have let homosexuals have freedom, and they try to do it in Africa too,
Right.
telling African people, the African government what to do. You know.
Yeah, that's that wine that they're trying to spread. Their philosophy, right? Okay, it says, the show of their countenance doth witness against them. They declare their sin as Sodom, they hide it not. Woe to their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves. Right, so that word woe means what? Destruction, man. So if you need any reason why America has to be destroyed, just that's one reason in itself. Why the Most High has to take America in their hierarchy and their rulership off the map. Why? Because they promote something as wicked as homosexuality. And what did the Most High do to Sodom and Gomorrah for that wicked act? He destroyed it from off the face of the earth. So that's why America has a big laundry list of wickedness that they have to take, that they must take account for. And why America, that's just one of the many reasons why America, why the Most High has to take America off the map, as well as their rulers, you know. So that was it.
I had something.
Okay.
Basically, just a precept to Matthew's 24, days of Noah, knowing the times. So this is Matthew chapter 16, verse 1. It says, and the Pharisees also with the Sadducees came and tempting desired him that he would show him a sign from heaven. Verse 2, and it says, he answered and said unto them, when it is evening, ye say it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky, but ye cannot discern the signs of the times.
Yep.
All right? You want to that?
Yeah, I'll go
read
read
it again?
Yeah.
It says, He answered and said unto them, When it is evening, ye say, It will be fair weather,
Right.
for the sky is red. And in the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky, but can ye not discern the signs of the times?
Right. So that's in the red letter, right?
Yeah.
So that's the Lord speaking. So he's telling, I believe it's the Pharisees. He's telling them, look, you can look up in the sky, and if you see clouds, you can determine the weather. All right, you see a lot of clouds, look, it's about to rain. So basically, that's a sign letting you know what's to come, right? So the sign, we can fast forward nowadays, we can determine that the Lord is going to make his return based on the prophecies, which are signs for the elect to
signs
know.
of the times.
Right, which are what? The signs of the times, which let the elect know, look, I'm about to send my son down here to deliver my people, which are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and natives, right? And matter of fact, since you brought that out, I got something that'll go with it because, matter of fact, let me just read it.
Yeah.
This is Habakkuk 2 verse 3. It says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak." Right, and that end time, that's letting you know that the prophecies that are going to speak, which are what? The chip, that's a major prophecy. Wars and rumors of wars, right? Homosexuality, pure wickedness is all going to come in the last days. All those things has to happen before the Lord makes his return, right? But years ago when these scriptures were written, they didn't apply then because, or they didn't speak then because it wasn't the end time.
It was an end time because
Right.
they can use the argument. Well, the World War II, it was wars and bloodshed and turmoil in the government. Or the 60s and 70s, there was war. But was homosexuality being spread abroad throughout the whole country?
Yeah.
No. All right. How should I say, were the Israelites, the true Israelites of the Bible, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, were they waking up and starting camps? No, they
Yeah.
weren't doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, the truth was out there, starting with Abba Bivens in like late 70s, 1969, really the exact day.
Right.
But it wasn't out here to a big scale right now, like in these days, because you got basically all over the world, brothers are waking up, and the truth about who the true Israelites are is known. And that's a prophecy too. That the scriptures say, once my word is spread up amongst all the world, the four corners of the world, then that's when I'm gonna come.
A matter of fact, let me.
Okay, you got it. All right. Yeah.
This is Revelation 11:11. It says, "And after 3 days and a half, the Spirit of the Most High entered into them."
What scripture is that again?
Revelation 11.
Mm-hmm.
Revelation 11 verse 11. "And after 3 days and a half, the Spirit of life from the Most High entered into them."
Yeah, and that 3 days and a half, I believe, is talking about the period of slavery, right? Those years.
350 years.
350 years, all right, or just being basically slavery, all right. And the Spirit of life shall enter into them, meaning at the end of that term, so to speak, or those years, all right, they're going to be given the truth, the Spirit of life. The Spirit of life is the truth. Yahweh Shema Shai. The Spirit of life is getting the knowledge of who you are.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to enter into them. All right, so it's entering into the Israelites, the true Israelites of the scriptures, man.
Right.
It
says, "And after 3 days and a half, the Spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them."
Yeah, and they stood upon their feet. How are they doing that? By starting with all these camps. Starting with, like I said, Abba Bivens in late 60s, 69.
Right.
But also, all the way down to the apostles of GMS.
Right.
Which has, man, just taken this whole world, how should I say, by storm, man.
Mm-hmm.
Really starting in 07. I mean, they've been doing their thing, but it didn't become viral, or so to speak, and which really, that's another prophecy. The internet script, right? The internet script, we like to call it, where they started putting their videos and live stream, and on the internet.
Right.
And now it's come to the point now, these days, now they're doing a lot of live stream shows. So that was part of prophecy too, that And without the internet, then you can't really spread this truth all over the world. You have to have the internet to spread this truth and make videos like we're doing right now in the spirit of the Lord to make this video be seen all over the world. And like manner with other camps. Excuse me, with other GMS members that's doing the same thing. All right? And that was prophecy too. And in doing that, everybody all over the world will hear this truth, and Lord willing, the elect are waking up.
Yeah, because you have certain shows that the elders do, or certain brothers do, it gets translated in another language.
Yeah.
So what those brothers, it might be in French or Portuguese or another language, so they can get it, you know, because there is a thing of the Gentiles or the Israelite foreigners that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, but they're going to be some of the elect amongst those men also, or those people also.
You got the internet scriptures?
Yeah, I got it.
Proof?
Yeah.
Just we want.
This is Psalms 19, verse 1. It says, "The heavens declare the glory of the Most High, and the firmament showeth his handiwork." Here's the point. It says, "Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge."
Yeah, read that again.
Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge.
Yeah, so it's talking about the glory of the Lord's creation, which is the whole world, the heavens, all right, and everything in this world showed his handiwork. But then it goes as a little, how should I say, parable or a quick statement, which really it's talking about the, if you have this, if you can interpret it right, it's talking about the internet, because, read that again.
It says, it's a couple more verses. It says, "Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge."
You said more verses?
Yeah, and more. It says, "There is no speech, no language where their voice is not heard. Their line is gone out through, their line is gone out through all the earth."
And the question I give to you, how is this truth going to get out there? It says day unto day, and night unto night it uttereth knowledge, or speak. What did it say?
Day unto day uttereth speech, night unto night showeth knowledge.
Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. All right, so obviously this truth that we have is ultimate knowledge in the universe, man. All right, and what we're talking about here, like all the other GMS members and apostles, is the true knowledge, and to see that is on the internet, because you can see it throughout the whole day.
Any time of day, yeah.
Any time of the day. That's what it says, day unto day and night unto night, which means 24 hours, 24/7. You can go in it. What other platform can you see something 24/7? It's just a process of elimination. So that has to be talking about the internet. It ain't talking about the phone, because you can hang up a phone. It's not talking about a video, right? Because the video stops after a few hours. It's not talking about us in the streets. It's talking about the internet, right? Because the internet is 24/7. You can't stop it, and you could go online and you can look on it. So that's what that's talking about. All right.
Right. It says their line is gone out through all the earth, and
all the earth. That's another a clue that is talking about a platform that can show this word or this truth all over the world and all day. What can do that? The internet. That's not hard to see.
It says their line is gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world.
And it's funny how they have the word line, but when you go on a computer, what does it say? Or excuse me, when you go on the internet, it says you're going online.
Right.
So, but
yeah, that's pretty
much it. We just want to show proof of that.
So let me read a Revelation again. It says, after 3 days and a half, the Spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. I didn't know I finished it. So yeah, that was it.
I got a precept because we talked about. I brought up Matthew's 16th chapter. You don't know the signs of the times,
right?
Which are the prophecies.
Right.
You have something?
Yeah. Well, you can bring that.
Go ahead.
Well, let me finish this. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. Habakkuk 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie.
It says the vision is yet for an appointed time, which a lot of all the prophets had visions of latter times and the past. All right, but a vision is something that you see basically in the future, and it says for an appointed time, which means it is in a specific moment where each vision is going to happen.
Right.
Now, a lot of visions happened already, which is called prophecy, and then other visions are yet to come, like the chip, the martial law, and ultimately the nuclear missiles destroying America. That's a vision. That's an appointed time where that prophecy is going to happen, and also ultimately the Lord coming back. All right.
Right. It says, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry.
Yeah, though it tarry, meaning it doesn't. Though it takes long, wait for it, meaning it was going to surely happen. All right. Just like when you're making, I don't know, I think they say goat meat. Goat meat is the longest. It takes the longest to cook. If you want to make goat, you gotta
Slow cooking.
slow cook it for like 6 hours. Even though it takes long to cook, you're gonna eat it. You're gonna have it. It's gonna be ready. But you just gotta wait for it. It's not like other meats like lamb where you can cook in an hour or under.
Yeah.
So I'm just using that just an example to say that even though it's taken long or so-called long for the Lord to appear, and it's taken a while, really it's not, and it's going to come to pass, because why? Ultimately the Lord said it in his prophecy. It's going to happen.
Yep. Yeah, that was it.
All right. So I got a precept to show.
I guess we got like a few minutes.
Yeah, I guess it would be like the last scripture.
All right.
Because the point is, like we said, these are the days of Noah, and we were bringing out scriptures even from the Lord himself saying that that you don't know the signs of the times, meaning that you're supposed to judge these times and to look for the prophecies to see when the Lord's going to come. All right, because that's how he knows he's going to come back soon, or he's going to come back on earth, because by all the prophecies coming to pass. Now he doesn't know the exact moment when he's going to come, but he knows it's a couple seconds away. You know what I mean? He knows it's a couple seconds away from happening. All right, and this is one of the biggest prophecies to show that we're in these last days, that the Lord is going to come back. This is 2 Ezra chapter 6, verse 8. You could break it down. Yeah. It says, I'll start from 7. 2 Ezra chapter 6, verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of times?
Right. Now, it says, what shall be the parting sunder of times? Now, the word asunder, I looked up in the dictionary, and it means apart, divided, right? And basically it's saying what's going to be that division of the rulership of Esau and the rulership of Jacob, right? Or the rulership under Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, right? Because he's asking when, I believe in the verses above it, he's asking, Esau, the so-called white man, they're gonna rule over Jacob. They're gonna rule over our people. When is that shift gonna happen, right?
Yeah, when's the kingdom gonna come?
Yeah, when's the kingdom gonna come, and when are we gonna be on top? Because that's what
exactly.
you chose us for.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Yep.
All right.
It says, Salak. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of times?
Right.
Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth?
Right. The end of the first is meaning when's the end of their reign gonna be, and when's the beginning of our reign gonna be, right?
It says, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born, of him Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
Right, and that was prophetic, and which he's about to explain. He's going back to the story of Jacob and Esau, when Jacob represents you so-called niggers, Latinos, and natives. Esau represents the so-called white man, right? And it goes into the prophecy of him grabbing the heel, and he's about to explain why he grabbed the heel of Esau. Right, read that part again.
And it says, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born, of him Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
Right, and that was a prophetic statement right there. That was a prophetic situation, right? And that, which Jacob represents you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and natives, the people, the chosen people of the Most High, right? And it's about to explain why he grabbed the heel of Esau, right?
And he said unto me, and you keep in mind, this is Ezra's talking to, I forget, what angel was it?
I believe it was Raphael. I'm not
forget
sure.
the exact angel, but this is Ezra's talking to an angel, and basically he's talking to an angel.
Right.
That's it. So he said, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born, of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. Okay. And it says, for Esau is the end of the world.
Right. For Esau is the end of the world. Not the end of the world is going to explode after that, but the end of their rulership. Right? Because one definition of the word world is eon, which means an age or like a time period. Right? And that the end, so it says,
I believe that world is eon there.
right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. If you look it up, that word world goes back to the word eon, which means time period.
Time period, yeah.
And he's saying that's going to be the end of Esau's time period of rulership, right?
Yeah. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
And Jacob's world or rulership is going to be the beginning of it that followeth, meaning that's when we're going to have our kingdom established under Yahweh Shem Yahushai at that time. So basically he's saying, all right, the end of when we're going to be on top is when Esau's ruling, right? They're going to be the last kingdom or rulership that's going to rule before we get our rulership. Pretty much, right?
Done, yep.
There's more,
Yeah.
right? There's more, right?
It says, for Esau is the end of the world.
Right. Esau is the end of the world. Esau is the end of the world. They're the end of their rulership, right?
So that's a sign right there.
Yeah.
Meaning that who's Esau? Esau comes from the Hebrew word Ishashua, which means wasted away is he, which is talking about the skin pigmentation, your melanin.
Right.
So it's talking about that pale one, all right? Who's the pale man on earth? Is Esau.
Yeah, so when that pale man rules,
Yeah,
you
when
know.
pale man rules, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when the pale guy rules with no color, a man with no color is gonna rule the whole earth. Who are the international bankers? They're not Rakim and T-Bone,
Yeah.
who owns the international banks.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds.
Right.
All right, and their names actually go back to I believe Rothschild really goes back to Red Shield.
Right.
All right, that name,
Red Shield, yeah.
which they changed anyway.
Red Child. Yeah.
Which they changed anyway. You know, I think their name were Bowers, which meant peasant or something.
Bauer, yeah.
You know, but anyway, I'm just bringing out that Esau is the end of the world, which means they're ruling right now, which is a great sign that it's the end times.
Yep.
Right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. The hand of man is betwixt the heel, and the hand of man is betwixt the heel, and the other question, asked thou not. Okay, now that was basically it. And another proof to that is because someone could argue and say, well, you know, white men have ruled throughout all ages. Oh, well, that's not the case. All right. Because they can argue that. Because you've been lied to in your school systems and your colleges and in all of society that the white man is every guy. He was the Egyptians.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You were the Greeks. You know what I mean? But the Jake was Greek too. Greek philosophers also. What other ones?
They're everybody, man.
You're the Romans. I mean, basically the point is that Esau depicts himself in these movies and in these books. There were every ancient race on earth. When you look at the ancient Egyptians, they depict them, or their movies, they depict the Egyptians as white people. All right, which is far from the truth. The Egyptians go back to Ham, the Hamites, which are Africans, which we're not African, but they're really, really dark-skinned people. Today, I've always forget to.
Sudanese, Watutsis, Zulus, you know,
Those
the Africans, because the
But
Egyptians.
it's a certain state though. Syria is it not Syria? It was just
I'm not sure.
forget what the
They
state.
just basically they're not there no more.
Yeah.
Because they're known for their height also, and the Zulus, Watutsis, and what is the Sudan you talking about?
I think it's Sudan. Remember
The
Apostle pulled
Sudanese.
the picture.
Yeah,
of
them
Sudan.
black. Matter of fact, if we do the editing, I'll put a picture of it because those are some ugly, you know.
Niggas with oil on their
Yeah.
face.
Yeah, so it's those people.
Yeah, Sudan. I think
The
Sudan.
Sudanese, the Zulus, Watutsis.
Those are the true Egyptians.
Yeah, those are the real Egyptians.
You know what I mean? So that's the point. Basically, any time, even in the time of the so-called Middle Ages.
Middle Ages.
Yeah, the Middle Ages. Yeah. Which is another proof. They call it the Middle Ages, and now you call these the latter days. These are the latter days. But anyway, the Middle Ages are what you see in movies as the Knights, Templar, the around 11 BC, 1200 BC, 11 BC, around those times. Um, excuse me, AD. No, did I say it right? AD. I mean, all right. Yeah, 9 AD, 12 AD. Those are the times of the Middle Ages, and at those times, so-called blacks were ruling. All
Mm-hmm.
right, so on and so forth. So that's how you know these days, all right, these last days are those end times because Esau has been ruling. It's really since the Renaissance period.
Mm-hmm.
All right, around the 1400s.
Yeah, 14, 15.
You know, um, so I guess
Yeah, that's it.
that's it. So with that, we're just showing that this place is out of here soon, and you can tell by certain prophecies that we brought out that these are the end times, namely because Esau's ruling. And it's prophesied when his rulership, he's the sign of the end times. Because no other nation has this world by a grip, by the way Esau does right now, and it's never been seen before. And that's the sign that the Lord is coming back. All right, so
Just with that. Hope brothers was edified. And until the next show, Shalom.